Welcome back to the show. I'm standing in front of the supply building where they're about to turn me into a cadet. Let's get geared up.
A kit is a very important part of survival camping. The wrong outfit could make for a miserable or even dangerous couple of days in the bush. Luckily, I have Captain Hallis and Cadet Warrant Officer NAHACHEWSKY to help me get set up. Cadets are issued what are known as combats. These ladies get out the measuring tape and hook me up.
Thank you.
Looks like this is one trip my heels won't be coming along for. Combats are a cadet's best friend, but to an outsider, all of these buttons can be pretty confusing.
Big ears there.
Yep.
Roll that around your finger. Hook it onto the button.
Not to mention the boots.
And we'll teach you how to tie your boots later. But
Inside the pants are sand traps to keep out the dirt, and if done right, they'll even protect you from water. But it takes a while to get used to the proper lacing techniques.
How do I look?
not bad.
Medium?
Yeah, like a cadet.
Time to take a trip into the field. This is where the cadet survival course skills are put into action. For 2 weeks, the kids have been taking the required classroom lessons, and now they're left to fend for themselves. They must set up their own sites, including shelter, fire, and water systems. Then they're evaluated by their instructors. I'm about to start mine, but these pesky combat boots got in my way. Luckily, staff cadets here are very helpful.
You gotta tie it here so you get lots of support.
Yes.
And then when the bear chases you, you can run faster.
The instructors have taken me out here to show me how to set up my site, but before we get into it, I headed out to talk with some of the cadets about their experiences.
Yeah, how big is our coffee camp?
This is Site 5 on the Survival Training Instructors course. They've been out here for 2 days and just got a fire lit.
Now we have a fire and the bugs are going away, so we're the happiest bunch of cadets you can find right now.
Today they show us what they've learned in a practical sense. So we have them separated into groups of 2 in what we refer to as their bivouac site. They will then demonstrate the skills that they've learned, and we will assess them on their ability.
This is a group exercise, but next week they'll have to do this for longer and solo. If they pass that evaluation, they'll be able to move on to teach the course. They're expected to set up their sites, and they're required to put up certain survival standbys to pass, something these cadets think is important.
But survival is like the skills you have here you can take over and like bring them back to your real life. Like if there was a blackout, I know how to make a fire right away.
In the bush, these teens are faced with the 7 enemies of survival: fear, pain, cold, thirst, hunger, fatigue, and boredom and loneliness. But this is just some of the things playing nemesis to the cadets.
Like I can take cold, I can take hunger, I can take thirst, but the bugs just drive you nuts after a while. You just can't ignore them.
These future instructors keep encouraging each other with one basic cadet lesson.
Mind over matter is the one thing that helps me pull through many things. It's one thing that I've learned from cadets.
Dealing with these needs can be hard, but over in the basic survival camp, these younger first-time campers signed up for the course for the opportunity.
They said it was a lot of fun. It was a challenge, and I like challenges.
These girls set up their site last night, but haven't been approved for a fire, forcing them to conserve what little food they were issued. This is designed to help them deal with the hunger enemy of survival.
We had a piece of bread last night. Well, a piece of bread. We ate that last night with jelly or peanut butter, and it was pretty awesome.
The girls are having the hardest time with the no talking policy on the camp. They aren't allowed to speak to other cadets on course. This is to simulate an authentic survival situation so they can learn how to combat loneliness, something that doesn't necessarily come naturally to teenage girls.
You just kind of have to think lots to yourself, and you need to be able to be by yourself.
A few sites down, the mood here just went up.
Because you just got it going, and it's reassuring, and it makes us happy.
The instructors say fire is the biggest morale booster, and that was evident when many interviews had to be stopped to keep it going.
There we go.
So could you put another log or something on our fire? It looks like it's gonna go out.
Despite the minor hardships, these cadets pull through to tell their friends about the experience.
Then we got to go on an awesome survival course, and we survived in the woods for 2 days.
I survived 3 days on 1 IMP, at least.
I think I'm gonna go home and say I didn't have a fire for anything, but when I woke up in the morning, I looked forward to eating my breakfast of a cracker and a jam packet.
So you guys are out here, you're eating jam packs, you're fighting mosquitoes. Is it actually worth it?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes,
Definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think that very many 15 or 16-year-old boys we're going to walk by have an experience like we're getting today.
And this whole course teaches us that the most important thing is mind over matter, adapt and overcome. And I feel like I'm going to walk out of this course way more confident that I'm going to be able to take out any challenge that comes to me.
I think it's very substantial in their development stage of life as young teenagers. This is for often of them their very first experience in the woods, in the survival situation whatsoever. It's very new to them. It gives them a very good start, and it also prepares them for their training at their home squadrons as well as for the senior course that's offered here at Cold Lake.
All right, we're back at our site, and Cadet Warrant Officer NAHACHEWSKY is here to help us set up our shelter. Thanks for showing us the ropes.
No problem, Whitney.
All right, what do we do first?
Well, let's come over here. As you can see, we already have the ropes strung out, the ground sheets pulled tight, and now all we're going to do is we're going to skip zipping everything together. We're just going to pull this over. As you can see, we already have the pegs in there, just sharpened up pieces of wood. We're just going to pull it tight on your side as well. All right, and push them into the ground.
Now, why is it really important to pull it tight?
Well, pulling it tight makes it waterproof. If you get streaks and lines in it, then the rain is going to pool and leak through your shelter. So it's important that it is tight, or at least it will be important for you. Not so much for me because I'll be in a civvy tent. But the next thing, we're going to come over here to the fire pit. Generally what you want to do is have your fire pit about 6 feet away from your shelter. You want to have no roots coming out of the side. So like this stuff here, you want all this stuff gone.
Okay.
We can work more on that later though.
So what else is important when you're setting up a shelter?
Well, one of the things that we tell the cadets during the summer how to make is the water collection devices. Water is very important for you, obviously, because if you don't have it, you die. Simple water collection device is right over here. If you can see, it's a garbage bag that you wrap around some branches. The moisture will start to form when evaporation occurs, and then you will have water in the bottom of the bag. So that's pretty good.
Okay. What is this called?
This is actually a bench. No, this is a bench. We just make them for camp crafts. One of the problems with survival is you get very bored. To keep your mind off of the boredom and loneliness and such, you have to do things to keep yourself occupied, such as building benches or fishing spears, anything that'll make your life a little bit less hectic. Some things I've actually seen is I've seen people make checkerboards. I saw a kid try to make a chess set, didn't work that well, but anything to keep your mind off of the situation that you're in.
While we're on the topic of mind, why don't you talk a little bit about what I should expect out here tonight? Like, what are some things that I should think about if I get kind of crazy?
Well, one thing is bugs. We'll be dousing you down with mosquito spray, something the cadets don't have the real option of having, but you need I don't know, you're gonna feel a little bit scared probably. I'm guessing you don't spend lots of time out in the bush, but you're gonna feel a little bit scared, a little bit out of your personal bubble. It's gonna be a little bit cold at the first part until it starts to warm up inside of your shelter. If it rains, you're probably gonna wake up every once in a while just because you're going to be hearing noise all night. Yeah, that's about it though. Like, you should be able to manage. It should be okay.
Later in the show, we'll see how this night goes for me and the cadets. But after the break, Dan Barry takes a look at some other cadet programs. That's next on Around the Region.